In this podcast, two Gen Xers are taking a trip down memory lane, revisiting and reflecting on the cinema of the 1980s. We'll look at the hits and the flops, the studio blockbusters and art house indies, the critically acclaimed, and the universally reviled. The series is hosted by me, Lisa Molinelli, a writer and librarian, and features Dustin Morrow, a filmmaker, author, and professor of film. So pull on your legwarmers, crank up your boombox, and hop in the DeLorean. It's time for the Long Rewind. Welcome to the Long Rewind. I'm your host, Lisa. With me, as always, is Dustin.
Hello, everyone.
And what are we talking about today, Dustin?
We're talking about our favorite TV actors and TV actresses of the 1980s.
Yeah.
So what was your thought when you sat down to make this list? How did you approach it?
That's a really good question. I guess, I don't have the same eye for good acting that I think you do. But, anybody that I thought was a great comedian or a good actor just in general. Sometimes I was influenced by their career after TV. So I definitely put some people on here that, I don't know. Maybe went on to have big careers.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know. I don't know how to describe my criteria for this. Did you have particular criteria?
Yeah, I think that something that gets overlooked sometimes. My list is all, and I'm sure your list is all famous people.
Yeah, I think fairly.
It's not like we were picking obscure actors from obscure TV shows. Mm-hmm. And so I think a lot of these people on my list some of them became like absolute superstars, or like these are like the defining roles of their careers.
Right.
And so I think part of it is just putting the right actor in the right part. And sometimes that's because a show is built around an actor. Mm-hmm. And so the character is designed to play to that actor's known strengths from, having seen them in earlier things in their career. And sometimes it's just that the actor, sometimes it's just the casting, the casting is just so perfect.
Right.
And so I remember like we did a best or favorite actors of the 80s film episode. Mm-hmm. And I had a couple choices on my list that I heard from people were like, really? Like, you thought that was one of the best performances of the 80s? And I think that sometimes what happens with really famous actors in really famous parts that are really, really popular is that their popularity or their like role in the mainstream eclipses the objective value of the work itself. Mm-hmm. And so, for example, I remember a couple of the ones I had on my list were Eddie Murphy as Axel Foley and Chevy Chase as Clark Griswold.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And it's not like I'm going to sit here and tell you that Chevy Chase is doing something as Clark Griswold that is better or more skillful than Daniel Day-Lewis is doing in My Left Foot. That would be ridiculous. But what I will say is that part was the perfect part for that actor's skill set. And he used that skill set to like elevate that part, because there's so many comic actors that could have played Clark Griswold.
Sure.
There are a lot of comic actors that could have played Axel Foley, because on paper, all those parts Clark Griswold just needs, doddering, foolish dad.
Bumbling dad.
Yeah, bumbling, well-meaning dad.
Right.
So, there are a million actors that can play
doable,
that part.
Sure. Yeah.
And Axel Foley just needs kind of like a smart ass. Like he's
a wise,
the smartest.
cracking cop. Yeah.
And so you could have cast, frankly, from that era, you could have cast Howie Mandel as Axel Foley, and it would have been one of the worst things you've ever seen. Or it would have been okay. It just would have been forgettable.
Right.
And the film would have no impact. And
right.
instead, there's this, 22, 24-year-old comedian coming out of Saturday Night Live. Has got like one big movie to his credit with 48 Hours.
Right.
And he takes this part and he literally just like elevates it and makes it so much more than it should be. And he keeps the edge in the part, and so that the comedy doesn't overtake the suspense and the action, that the film can still function as a cop movie and not just as a goofy comedy where he's doing characters, but like you actually care about the case and you want him to solve the case.
Yeah.
And when he's running around with a gun at the end of the movie, you actually feel like he's in danger.
Yeah.
All of that, not all of it, some of that's to the director's credit. But a lot of that is to the credit of the actor. And Chevy Chase, I think that like that performance as Clark Griswold, whatever you might think of Chevy Chase personally, I know he has a reputation for being a jerk. That is one of the funniest performances ever committed to movies, I think. I mean, he's doing so much work with that part. Yeah. And, you know, I would point people to the remake of Vacation where Ed Helms is essentially playing that role to much less effect, and then Chevy Chase shows up for a 5-minute cameo near the end of the movie, and literally you can feel the energy in the film change when he comes on screen. He has nothing to do in that scene. They give him nothing to do except like literally like less than nothing. Like he has to get up from a table and get some dishes out of a cupboard and set them on a table. That's like all he has to do, and you could tell he was like, well, if this is all I'm doing, I'm going to go for it. Right. And he's hilarious in the scene. See how he's so funny.
Do that, sure.
And it's just evidence that like you put the right actor in the right part and they can do like supernaturally great work.
Yeah. Well, and you're also talking about two things, at least in those cases, where I think those are iconic parts and iconic characters, right? People remember them. They are literal icons. I'm not using that just as a throwaway
And that's definitely the case. It's like a lot of the characters on my
on your list.
On my list.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think the other thing I thought about and couldn't deny was when I thought it was sort of an ensemble thing and it was hard to choose one person. Yeah. So sometimes it's a tie sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I didn't necessarily pick one person because it's my list, dang it. And that's how I'm doing it. Yeah.
Did you do honorable mentions or just your top 10s?
I actually didn't do honorable mentions, but if you want to talk honorable mentions, let's do it because I'm sure you have some good ones.
Okay. So. I did do some honorable mentions. You can stop me if any of these show up in your top 10 and we'll wait and talk about them later, but I'll just run through them really quickly. My honorable mention actresses are Nell Carter.
I love her.
Who's delightful in Give Me a Break.
I actually had her. She is on my list. So yeah.
Julia Duffy on Newhart, playing one of the OG princess characters and great. Doing it to hilarious. In fact, her comic timing is just great. Julia Louis-Dreyfus on Seinfeld as Elaine, of course, an amazing character. Yep. Judith Light on Who's the Boss as Angela Bauer.
Yes.
Marsha Warfield on Night Court.
Sure.
One of the funniest side characters, like a real scene stealer of a character. And also the last name on my list of actresses for honorable mention, also stole the entire series, you could argue, much to the chagrin of the actors at the center of that show. Jackée Harry. Yeah,
she's on my list. She's on my top 10.
All right, so we'll talk about her in a bit.
Yeah,
My honorable mention list of male actors, Edward Woodward, who plays the central part in The Equalizer, gives that character a lot of gravitas. You can really see him struggling with his conscience as he does what he does in that show.
Vigilante work.
Robert Hayes, who took over the role of Starman from Jeff Bridges in the adaptation of that movie, does work that you would never guess that he would be capable of doing if you'd only seen him in Airplane.
Yeah, that's so true.
Because he gives a really tender,
very sweet,
really
naive,
sweet,
kind of,
naive performance that's just lovely.
You're right, it is.
Ted Knight on Too Close for Comfort.
Yeah, he's so great.
An actor that I didn't love as a kid and I've really come around. I think he is the funny in a movie of like all-time heavy hitters. I think he's the funniest thing in Caddyshack.
Yeah, I know. He's your favorite in Caddyshack.
Oh my God, he's funny. Well, we're waiting.
No one can deliver a line like that. Like
Ted Knight is so funny.
That's right.
Yeah, I just picture him with that in Too Close for Comfort. He's wearing that cow puppet as he draws his comic strip.
He does irascible extremely well.
He does irascible so great. All-time irascible actor.
Yes, he's great.
Tony Danza and Who's the Boss?
Oh, yeah.
Ayo, OA, hey, Angela. He's a great, he's an actor of limited scope, but in sitcoms, sitcom acting is a very different beast. I had, when I was teaching at Temple University, I taught a course it was given to me. It wasn't a course I came up with. It was called Comedy Workshop. And it was just making narrative comedic filmmaking, basically. And I was like, what am I going to do with this class? And so one of the things I did is I brought in a very seasoned sitcom director, a woman named Mary Lou Belly, who had directed like just hundreds of hours of various sitcoms. You would have heard of every show she's directed. And she came in and talked about the rhythms of directing sitcoms. And because we invited the actors from the graduate acting program into the class on the day that she was there, she said, let me show you how sitcom acting is wildly different from any other kind of acting that you will do, including other TV acting.
I'm fascinated. Okay.
And so it was very much about like timing. Yeah. And so she gave a few lines, like 4 or 5 lines to everybody who was sitting in a circle. All the actors were sitting in a circle. And she gave like 4 or 5 lines to 2 actors. Okay. And so this is hard to describe, but the 2 of the actors in the circle would do it, and then the next 2 actors in the circle would do it, and so on. But they were doing the same lines over and over again. Yeah. And there were like 40 of them. So we heard the same like little vignette dialogue scene like 20 times, and it got over to like near the end, and it was like, wow, this was funny at first, and now it's gotten a little tedious because it sounds the same with every 2 actors. And these 2 guys did it, and they were like the 20th group to do it, and they did it in a way that was so different and elevated and 1,000 times funnier than all of the other pairs of actors had done it. And she goes, that's sitcom acting. What those 2 guys just did was sitcom. Their timing was completely different. It was very sharp. It had beats that were not there in the other actors' performances.
And I presume it's very, I don't want to say artificial, but it's not the way we speak in real life, right?
It's not
like
authentic.
Very different. Yeah.
So, right. It's an idea that I might come back to in my top 10, just because I have some sitcom choices, especially in my list of actresses. And I just think, it is different. You can be you can be an amazing actor and be a terrible sitcom actor. All you have to do is look at like all of the famous guest stars that have shown up on Friends or other sitcoms over the years, and how some of them are really funny and some of them really poop the bed.
That would be an interesting way of getting at it, I guess. Yeah.
All right. Other honorable mention actors for me: Avery Brooks, who played Hawk on Spencer for Hire. Just a badass. It's like Shaft, basically. Just one of the coolest actors. Richard Dean Anderson of MacGyver, who was, MacGyver is interesting because he's such a good guy and a wholesome guy that it would be hard to make him interesting.
He's a very earnest character, right?
And I don't know that Richard Dean Anderson is even fully successful at it, which is probably why he didn't crack my top 10, despite the fact that I love that show as a kid. But I think he does what he can with him being a Boy Scout. Yes. There's no shading. There's no edge to MacGyver.
Yeah,
right?
No, he's full on earnest.
Yeah, full earnest. Yeah. Bob Einstein, who is Albert Brooks's brother, played a character named Super Dave Osborne.
Super Dave, yep.
And Bob Einstein kind of did one thing. He was basically Super Dave on Curb Your Enthusiasm for years when he showed up on that. He just was
doing Super Dave,
this guy that had this unbelievably dry as unbuttered toast,
even drier.
Yeah. And he kind of puts that to good effect as Super Dave. It's just a fun role. Ed O'Neill, made Married with Children better than it should have been, because it was actually a pretty bad show. Patrick Stewart. It's probably on your list, so we won't talk about him.
Very high on my list, yeah.
And that's my honorable mention.
Okay, great. I love it.
So let's get into top 10s. How should we do this? Should we do all the women and then all the men, or should we go back and forth?
We should probably.
It would be confusing.
All of one and all of another.
Do all the Should we do ladies first?
Sure, that's fine. Sounds great.
So our top 10 actresses. Who you got at number 10?
I had Roseanne Barr at number 10.
Yeah, Roseanne is great.
I know she has her issues as a person now, but man, she was a heavy hitter in sitcoms.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That show was built around her domestic goddess stand-up act, and it's to her credit and to her writer's credit that there have been a lot of, the 90s especially is littered with stand-up comedians who got sitcoms based on their stand-up act.
Yes.
And a lot of those were successful. Grace Under Fire and Home Improvement. There were a lot of these.
Seinfeld, for God's sake. Yeah.
But few of them, but hers really transcended that. I mean, that show has real drama in it occasionally.
That's true.
And really dealt with a lot of issues that are important to blue-collar Americans and
maybe to all Americans.
Yeah. I mean, she was good, and she was good in it. I mean, it was hard to separate her from that character, and so I don't know how.
Yeah, that's true.
It's hard to look at her as an actor in a way because she's so close to that character. But I'm sure if I went back and looked at, I haven't watched that show in probably 20 years.
I haven't either. Yeah, same.
But I would wager that she probably is a much better actor than we were giving her credit for at the time.
That could be. Yeah. Yep.
My number 10 was Candice Bergen.
Oh yeah, I have her on my list. She's my number 6
as Murphy Brown. Won a lot of Emmys and deservedly so. One of the great dramatic actresses, film actresses of the 1970s, and kind of reinvented herself as this, journalist, this sarcastic journalist.
Yeah, I loved her, Murphy Brown.
In Murphy Brown. What's your number 9?
My number 9 was Eileen Brennan.
From
Private Benjamin. But in general, I just love her. I think she's great. I don't know. I think she's a great comedic actress.
She's like the drill sergeant.
Yeah, she's the drill sergeant. Yeah. Always annoyed.
And it was Sally Struthers? Was that who was?
I don't think so. I don't know who it was, honestly, but I don't think it was anyone super famous. Obviously, it's Goldie Hawn in the movie. Goldie Hawn in the movie, but I don't remember.
And it was Eileen Brennan in the movie, too.
She came over to
the
TV.
Role,
Yeah. I just think she's great. I feel like she's a little undersung.
Yeah. Here's a sneak peek at my list. All 4 Golden Girls are going to show up in my top 10.
Well,
my number 9. I'm guessing you cheated and put them all in one number.
Did. Yes, I did.
I did. I actually was like,
wow.
Well, I was like, it's going to be hard to rank the Golden Girls, but I did it.
I couldn't do it.
I took that as my main challenge of doing this list.
Okay. Well, I
number
out.
9 on my list is Estelle Getty. It was hilarious, but I think has the least interesting part as an actor on the Golden Girls, but has perfect comic timing and right, as you could say with all 4 of those actors, right actor in the right character at the right time.
They are amazing. I mean, I don't know if I should even say where I have them, but I do have them all together.
Okay, well, we'll get to them eventually then. Yeah. What was your number 8?
Sybil Shepherd.
Sybil Shepherd is on my list at number 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can talk about it then.
Yeah. Great. She was a model and did some acting in the 70s especially.
Yes.
She was Peter Bogdanovich's. I don't think they were ever married. I think they were just partners.
Yeah.
But they met on Last Picture Show and did other work together after that, a couple other movies. And I think was given something of a hard time in that era, not taken seriously as an actor, both because she was accused of essentially being a homewrecker because he was with the producer Polly Platt at the time that he started having an affair with her, and she was much younger than him, and also because she was a former model.
Yep.
And she's really good. Like she is. Yeah. She found her calling in. She's a better TV actor than she ever was a film actor. Like I didn't watch her sitcom, but it ran forever.
Oh, that's right. I forgot she had her own sitcom. So it must have been good. Yeah.
Or it must have been the right part for her.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
But yeah, as Maddie Hayes, I think she's a great screwball comic actress and a great foil for the wilder character that is David Addison.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's something of the straight man in that show, and she does it very well. And it's so much so that when he does loosen her up and get her to do things that she wouldn't do because she's so prim and proper, it reads as even funnier and more charming than it probably should because of how good she's playing it.
Yeah, I think that's always great when someone can do that. So good.
My number 8 was Katherine Hellman.
Oh, yeah.
Who plays Mona on
She's so great.
Who's the Boss?
Yeah, yeah.
I think the real secret weapon of that show.
Absolutely
by far
weapon.
The funniest part of that show, which was one of my favorite shows when I was a kid. Just such incredible comic timing.
Yeah.
Great actress. She was in some Terry Gilliam films, and she was
That's
in Time
right.
Bandits.
She's in Brazil for
Brazil.
sure. Yep, in Time Bandits.
Yeah, underrated.
Definitely underrated.
She was great. One of the great supporting turns of the 80s. What's your number 7?
That was where I had Nell Carter, which was in your...
Nell Carter, the great Nell Carter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
a force of nature.
Total force of
Way
nature.
better than that show.
Oh,
that show did not deserve her.
No.
It wasn't a horrible show. It was a pretty standard issue 80s sitcom. But had she been given better writing, then I think that she could have been way bigger.
Yeah. I mean, she was a pretty famous Broadway actress.
Legendary stage performer.
Stage
yeah,
performer.
She was in Hair and so many
amazing.
other things.
So
yeah.
Deserves the spot, I think.
My number 7 is Felicia Rashad.
I had her at number 5. So, yeah, similar placing.
Claire Huxtable.
Yep. She is wonderful.
Yeah. She's the anchor for that show, right?
Yeah.
Because he was very funny, but he didn't have any capacity for doing drama really at all. Not that the show had a ton of drama in it, but she was what made that show. She was what made while he was running around mugging and cracking jokes and doing bits with the kids. She was what made that family feel like a real family.
Yeah, she grounded it.
She grounded it. Yeah. And that's a lot to. That's, I think, probably trickier than it seems.
Yeah,
especially when you're playing off somebody as broad as Bill Cosby.
Yeah, yeah. She didn't do broad, did she?
No, not really.
Really didn't. Yeah, yeah.
And there was just a lot of warmth in her performance.
Very warm, very elegant,
seemed like a real mom,
but very
just a real
smart, like
act.
super smart, very sophisticated. Yeah, great character.
It's he credited her for the success of that show. I've seen in multiple interviews that he said, that show was what it was because we cast the right person as Claire.
Yeah, she's wonderful.
Yeah. What was your number 6?
Candice Bergen.
Candice Bergen. Yep. So my 6 was Laurie Metcalf,
who
played Jackie on
she's
Roseanne.
A fantastic actress. Yes.
She was a Chicago actor, came out of the Steppenwolf theater troupe alongside like Gary Sinise and John Malkovich. She's part of that crew. And just did a lot with that part. Like that was, to the limitations of Roseanne Barr as an actor, I think that's where they were lucky to have Laurie Metcalf because a lot of her storylines were the more dramatic ones.
Yeah.
Like she went through a lot of horrible stuff over the course of the run of that show, a lot of horrible experiences.
Yes.
And she gave that show some weight, I thought.
Definitely.
And what was your number 5?
Felicia Rashad. We already talked about her.
Mine was Sybil Shepherd. So your number 4?
This was a tie between Jack Hay and Marla Gibbs because, they go together. They're both on 227. Yep. They play off each other. It's an important relationship on the show, right?
Yeah.
So,
It's a great show, and she's doing largely the same thing. I will say that I think my Marla Gibbs crowning achievement is the Jeffersons.
Well, fair. That's totally fair. She is doing the same
thing. But
thing.
that's a 70s
But I guess
series.
I feel like, again, these two characters they play off each other so often on the show. I mean, that's the whole thing. So I felt like they had to go together.
Jack A is a good example of, I remember the narrative around that was that like Marla Gibbs, I think they're great friends now and that all is kosher. But I think
Water
at the time, Marla Gibbs was like, what the hell is this?
Because this was supposed to be her vehicle,
it was like,
I assume. Yeah.
Jaleel White on Family Matters. Reginald Bell Johnson was told this was his show and it was going to showcase him. And then Urkel comes in and all of a sudden every episode is about Urkel. And I think it was not a completely different situation at 227 because Jack A was so funny and such a force of nature.
Is so great, yeah.
In a way that it seems like it probably surprised the producers.
Right.
How good she was.
Right.
And how that character caught on.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Marla Gibbs holds her own on that show. It's not like she's lost or anything. But yeah. Anyway.
My number 4 is Shelley Long.
I had her at number 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's an amazing comedic actress. Diane on Cheers. Yeah.
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 Just, what can you say about Shelley Long?
She's
one of the great
yeah.
comedy actresses of all time.
Yeah.
I think. And I can see why they were so nervous at that show when she left that they there was a lot of, if you've heard, I've seen interviews with them. Danson has always said, we thought the show was going to go straight into the toilet when she left. We were so nervous because she was so central to the show's success and the way she plays off of Sam. To their credit, I think they were smart in not trying to replace her with another
with the same type
character. I think that Kirstie Alley was great on that show. She didn't make my list, but she was no Shelley Long. But she was very good too. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, if you're doing the math, you'll know who my top 3 are.
Yeah.
What's your number 3?
I had Shelley Long at number 3.
Oh, Shelley Long. Okay. What about your number 2?
My number 2, I believe I'm not wrong about this, although it doesn't matter either way. Carol Burnett. She was on Mama's Family, I think, but also she had her own specials, and she's amazing. Yeah. I love Carol Burnett.
Yeah.
She had to be on my list.
I think the Carol Burnett show was a 70s.
Was it? Okay.
Show.
Well,
maybe,
I don't know.
It might have even been 60s and 70s. I mean, that show ran forever.
It did.
I don't know if it ran into the 80s.
I guess I thought she did appear on Mama's Family sometimes.
She did. She was on Mama's Family.
So I thought, not that I think her I mean, I don't know. If Carol Burnett was on TV in the 80s, she should be on this list. Yeah. She is
they're both
American
hilarious.
Icon.
Vicki Lawrence, man.
Vicki Lawrence is amazing too.
Don't underestimate what Vicki Lawrence was doing under that wig.
No, I mean she's amazing too.
Comedy,
she's amazing too. But Carol Burnett's an icon, so I love her.
My number 3 is Rue McClanahan.
Uh-huh.
This was hard.
I don't know why you even bothered to do this.
Because it's like a challenge.
Yes, it's a good challenge.
Yeah. So
this was hard. Yeah.
Number 3, I had Blanche.
Yes, Blanche.
The famous story around that show is that they had B. Arthur in her part all along. Mm-hmm. They had to search for Estelle Getty and found her. And Betty White and Rue McClanahan were initially playing opposite parts. That Rue was going to play Rose, because Rue had played kind of a ditz on, what was it, Maude or something?
That sounds
What was that show?
Right.
I feel like it might have been Maude.
You might be right. That sounds right. Yeah.
And Betty White, of course, on the Mary Tyler Moore show, had played a very loose lady.
Yes. Yeah.
And so I think that I can't remember how the story goes, how it shook out. I feel like my memory is that Betty White was the one that was like, I'd rather do something different. I'd rather play a part that is unlike Sue, whatever her name was on
Sue Ellen something.
Sue Ellen,
I don't remember the full name, but yeah.
And so that's how it kind of flipped, and Rue McClanahan got kind of slotted. But Rue is great. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're all 3 perfect. It's hard to break them apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you had Rue for 3.
I had Rue at 3.
Now I'm curious to see how you did 2 and 1. Will be very interesting.
My number 2 is B. Arthur.
Okay. Yep. Mm-hmm. I think that's right.
Like the greatest dry. How do you describe that? What is that?
Rye.
Look? That look she does, where you kind of. She couldn't break the fourth wall, so she wasn't looking into the camera.
Like it's like an "Are you kidding me?"
It was as close as you could get to that. Like when
Rose
would say something stupid, and they would cut to her, and she wouldn't say anything. She would just have this.
Give the look. Are you kidding?
Yeah,
look.
It was just nobody did that.
Did anyone else
better
hear this?
Than
she was
B.
amazing.
Arthur. And beyond that, just one of the all-time great sitcom actors. She was Maude.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I love Dorothy.
Dorothy's wonderful.
Dorothy might be my favorite Golden Girl character. Yeah, I think I might laugh more at her than any of them. But but I didn't rank her number one, and for reasons I'll get to in a moment. What was your number one?
I mean, my number one was the entire cast of the Golden Girls, because I feel like, at least in that context, you cannot have one without the other. They all work so well together.
You're right. It's peanut butter and jelly.
It's really like maybe the most ensemble-y ensemble you could find in 80s television. So, but I love that you ranked them, and that gets us talking about each of them individually.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
I had Betty at number one just because I love Betty the most.
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't love Betty White? She's everybody's favorite.
Yeah, she's wonderful.
TV actor of all time.
But isn't she also amazing in that part?
She is. I was thinking about this. I was like, well, how do you pick one or the other? I think what she was doing was probably the hardest to sustain the comedy in. Like, just playing how many, I mean, name a sitcom that didn't have at least a supporting character who was the dumb one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Mallory Keaton. I mean, there were like a million of them.
It's an archetype that you would see all the time.
So many of them.
Yes.
And she's the only one that like registers for me as like, I mean, there were a lot of great ones. I mean, there were, what's his name on Newhart, the handyman, George.
George. Right.
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of good ones, but she took it to another level.
I feel like she had a depth to her also.
And exactly. Yeah. And she also, there's like that episode where she starts dating the guy who's a college professor. Okay. And she's so afraid that he's going to dump her because she's not smart.
Yeah, Miles, the guy who she ends up with.
Miles, yeah. And she knows she's not smart. Like, she knows she's dumb. Yeah. Even though she says a lot of dumb stuff that the other two characters are like, she doesn't realize
without
what
realizing
she's saying.
It. Yeah.
But that episode, I remember, that was a heartbreaking episode and really showed how good an actor Betty White actually was, because it didn't change the character. It wasn't like all of a sudden she was smart because she was self-aware. It was just that
it was a vulnerability.
It showed that she could be not a very smart person, but also aware that she was not a smart person. And that was kind of heartbreaking to watch. Yeah,
it was a very vulnerable performance.
It was all done very subtly and
Super
all to
sweet.
the credit of, I mean, it's great writing. We said this before when we were talking about this show on whatever year it came out, that it was probably the best written show of the decade. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was also fun because she could also do this. She could also get in a zinger sometimes as Rose without not being Rose, like occasionally she'd have a moment of amazing, sharp comedic clarity as Rose that would take you completely by surprise and would be really fun. So she could do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, should we get into our actors?
Yeah, let's do it.
I had 3 ties in my actors.
I had 2 ties, and then I made that
cheating.
I had 2 ties, and I made that 10. Like, I actually don't technically have a 10. It's all in the in the ties. So you can start with your 10 and 9 then if you want, or I don't know. We can do it however you want.
Well, what's your number 10?
Well, it's at number 8 technically, but yes, I had Larry.
Wait. I'm confused. So
I have 10 actors on my list, but 4 of them are like ties.
Oh, for God's sakes.
You see what I'm saying?
So should I do my 10 and 9?
That's what I'm saying. Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go.
I hope people have a paper and a pencil at home and are trying to work this out.
I don't think it matters.
Number 10, I did a tie between Tom Hanks and Peter Scolari.
Yeah.
On Bosom Buddies.
Yeah, that's a good. I had Tom Hanks too.
2 inspired sitcom performances.
Yeah.
I don't think Tom Hanks. I think if you watch that show, like, of course, Tom Hanks went on to become a superstar and a great dramatic actor, and Peter Scolari went on to have more sitcom success on stuff like Newhart.
Yes.
Unfortunately, passed away.
Yeah.
Relatively young. But I think if you watch that show and you didn't know what Tom Hanks was going to become, you wouldn't be able to say one of these guys is going to be the biggest star in history and the other one is just going to go on to do more sitcoms.
It's very,
I think they're equally good in that show.
Can you call it an ensemble when it's 2 people? Whatever you call that, they're a good duo. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's on Tom Hanks is on my list too.
And my number 9 was Don Johnson.
Oh, interesting.
Playing Sonny Crockett on Miami Vice.
Yep.
He's a much better actor. It's a much better performance than what you get from Philip Michael Thomas, who I like, don't get me wrong, but was an actor of like great limitation compared to
Don Johnson.
There's a reason that they had Don Johnson carry all of the most dramatic of the storylines on that show. He just had more capacity to do that. And he was a very, Sonny is a very messed up, very sad character. One of those cops, it's a bit of an archetype, but one of those cops for whom the job is what keeps him alive, kind of like Martin Riggs. He's not suicidal, but he was not a happy guy. He had a destroyed marriage and
his personal life was
not
a wreck.
much of a relationship with his kid and
right.
And you get that you see that surface in his performance in interesting ways as he goes after these criminals, like his obsession level. There's an episode of that show that is very much like the movie Manhunter, which is also a Michael Mann film, like Miami Vice.
Yep.
In fact, I wonder if it was something of a dry run. I'd have to look at which came first. I think the Miami Vice episode did. But the premise of that episode is that Crockett tries to put himself in the mindset of this serial killer that they're hunting, because he thinks that would be the best way to catch him. And in the act of doing that, starts to lose his touch, a little touch himself with his own morality and his own code of ethics. And it's an interesting episode and a great performance by Don Johnson, who carries it ably.
Nice.
What was your number 8?
It's kind of a weird choice.
Okay.
But I think he's worth talking about. Calvert DeForest, Larry Bud Melman from David Letterman.
This is outside the box.
It is it's an outside the box choice, but come on. I mean, every time I see him on Letterman, I'm so excited and so happy. I think he's so weird. He's so weird. I mean, he's obviously not a good actor, but he's so weird, right? It's his favorite actors. And I'm so delighted to see Larry Bud Melman.
I think that is an inspired selection. That's way better than anything I have on my list.
Well, aren't you always so delighted? Bud Melman. Aren't you so delighted to see Larry Bud Melman on David Letterman every time he shows up?
For sure.
You're just so happy.
He was beyond strange.
He was so weird.
Yeah. Anybody who hasn't seen the episode where he is at the Port Authority greeting people from out of town as they arrive in New York, and he's like handing out snacks and hot towels. It is one of the funniest things that I've seen in my entire life. And the fact that like Letterman couldn't even speak, he was laughing so hard, tells you, because David Letterman doesn't respond like that often. That tells you how funny it was. It is absolutely worth watching it. It is on YouTube, and
the
you
fact
should
that
look it up.
He just cannot manage a microphone. Amazing.
Well, that's like the 10th funniest thing.
I know
it's
not even nearly the funniest thing. But
did you have a snack on the bus?
But he wouldn't even.
Would you like a towel?
Answer. Yeah, hot towel. Yeah.
So weird.
Amazing.
My number 8 was Bruce Willis.
He was my number 7.
Yeah,
so very similar.
As David Addison.
Yes.
Just a great out of nowhere. I mean, this guy was. He had done a guest appearance on Miami Vice and maybe a couple other things, but was a celebrity bartender essentially.
Which I didn't think was a thing.
He was a famous bartender when he got this part. Yeah. And
weird,
talk about taking apart and like milking every last ounce of like comedic value out of it.
He's so charming too.
So charming. Yeah. So funny. And so both him and Sybil Shepherd, the famous story about moonlighting is that the script, one of them, there's a million famous stories about moonlighting. Obviously, they hated each other and all that kind of stuff. But from a production standpoint, the famous story about that show is that the scripts were like twice the length, if not more, of the average 1 hour show because there was so much dialogue in there, and it was to be delivered so quickly.
Yes, screwball style.
Yeah. And both actors did that so well, and not every actor could. That's for sure. And so they just caught lightning in a bottle with him. I mean, it was the perfect actor for that perfect part.
Yeah.
What's your number 7?
It's Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis. My number 7 was Edward James Olmos.
Oh, okay.
Also on Miami Vice.
Yeah.
Who gave that show a lot of gravitas, and a lot of the Lieutenant Castillo centered episodes were among the best episodes of that show.
Wow. I don't know enough about Miami Vice, so this is interesting.
He did a lot with a little. Like, it was not a huge character, obviously. He's a supporting character, but the way he ran the unit and the way he backed up his guys, and you could see him always wrestling with stuff and his moral code, and it was just like a lot of stuff on that show. It was just it messed with that stuff in a very interesting way.
Yeah,
and he's just so good in it. It's his episodes are among my favorite episodes of one of my favorite shows.
Cool.
What's number 6?
My number 6 is a good choice, I think, but something I don't think I realized at the time. I realized it as an adult. John Goodman.
Yeah, he's my number 5.
I don't think I realized at the time that he was a good actor,
good he
like
is.
an amazing actor.
He's so good in that show.
He's so good. He's great in Roseanne, and of course, I've seen him in movies since where he's a knockout. He's so good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. You can say more about why.
I mean, the show's named after her, but he's essentially the co-lead of the show.
Yes.
And yeah, I mean, the writing was so good. The warmth between the two of them. Yeah. But also they would fight like real couples who were under financial strain.
Yeah.
And he was just a stand-up guy. Yeah. And it was just he felt like, it did not feel like a sitcom.
He felt real.
He felt like a
very
real guy
real.
that you might know.
Yeah. He was so real. It's something I'm realizing now as we talk about it, that Roseanne, apart from Roseanne, had some very accomplished, skilled actors on it. I mean, and Laurie Metcalf and John Goodman, they were both acclaimed stage actors, I think, right? Before that. So pretty incredible stuff. Yeah.
My number 6 was a gentleman named Bob Newhart.
Oh, I have him very high on my list. Should I say where? I had him at number 2. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Bob Newhart.
I would not say Bob was the greatest actor.
Well, sure.
But Bob was bobbing on Newhart.
I mean, his comedic timing is
his comic timing is so unique to him.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Like anyone else who tried to do the kind of timing that he did would come across
he's
like
so unique.
You were doing like a sad Bob Newhart impression.
Right.
He just it's taking that character and surrounding him with all of these like small town New England nuts.
Who would sometimes get one over on him, though, right?
It was one of the great ideas in sitcom history. It just was so good. It was just such a great vehicle for what he does as a comedian.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love Bob Newhart.
So funny.
Yeah.
So are we up to did we get your number 5 then?
No, we didn't talk about
what's your number 5?
My number 5 is an understandable tie between Mark Lynn-Baker and Bronson Pinchot.
Okay, hang on. Sit on that for a moment.
I will sit on that.
What's your number 4? My number 5 was Goodman.
Okay. 4 was Michael J. Fox.
That's my number 2.
Okay. So we just have a little bit of a switch. We can wait for that.
That's all right. We could talk about Michael J. Fox.
Because we've already talked about my number 3. I had Tom Hanks in number 3.
He's Alex P. Keaton.
Yes.
Again, a little-known actor, little-known Canadian actor, had done some low-budget movies, and all of a sudden, he's like the biggest star in the world.
Huge.
Because he took this show, which was, again, supposed to be about 2 hippies, former hippies, who are like struggling with their newfound yuppiedom as they grow older. And instead, it became a show about 2 former hippies and their conflicts with their super conservative
son,
where the conservative son becomes the center of the show rather than the 2 hippie parents.
It really revolved around him.
Yeah, and I think that was something they figured out pretty quickly. But if you watch like the first part of the first season of that show, he's like a side character. He's really not
that's so interesting.
At the center of that show. And then it was like,
it's hard to remember
they were like,
that.
oh, we have lightning in a bottle here. Let's make the whole show about this kid. And I think, again, that maybe caused some drama with Meredith Baxter Birney in particular.
Oh, interesting.
I'm sure she got over it because of all the money she made from.
I mean, he had a huge film career, but he also went on to do some really great sitcom work beyond the 80s too.
Yeah,
so
and good dramatic work.
He made
very
a movie called overall.
Casualties of War. He's just a good actor in general.
He's a good actor. Yeah, overall.
Yeah, Spin City was fun, but Marty McFly, of course, but there's nothing like Alex P. Keaton.
Nope.
It's just one of the great comic creations of the 80s.
It's his breakout.
Character.
Yeah,
He's
it's an icon.
So funny. And I wouldn't, that's a show that you and I will throw on occasionally, but I would never, ever pick an episode now that wasn't centered around his character.
Alex, yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm.
That's why I would want to watch that show, would be just to watch him.
Yeah.
That's the reason to watch that show.
Yeah.
My number 4 was Tom Selleck.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Magnum PI himself.
Yeah, wonderful. Mm-hmm. That's a good choice.
Just a great, he does this is a recurring theme. We talked about this with Bob Newhart and Ted Knight, but he's also a guy who's like put upon a lot.
That's true. He's Magnum.
It's a great updating. It's like a great 80s version of the characters that Humphrey Bogart used to play.
Right, it's PI who's,
yeah, it's like a Hawaiian film noir.
Yeah, that's true.
In some ways, that show. And he speaks to the audience on the soundtrack as those old
VO.
detectives in those old 40s movies did.
That's
and
true.
he's very wry and has a very dry sense of humor. And he's always getting into jams that he didn't ask for.
Yeah.
And the humor in that show is great. The mysteries are, not every episode is gold, but most of them are pretty smart and very well written. And he's just such a fun character.
He's very appealing. He's very charming.
You could see why they wanted him for Indiana Jones.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's just so inherently likable.
He's got some good range there. Yep.
What was your number 3?
We already talked about him, Tom Hanks, who, by the way, does appear on a couple of episodes with Michael J. Fox.
That's true, as the drunk uncle.
As the drunk uncle
Yeah.
in Family Ties. Just wanted to throw that in.
My number 3 was a tie. It was a tie between Jason Alexander and Michael Richards.
Oh, for Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
And I think once you add Julia Louis-Dreyfus, I will say this. I do think Jerry is funny. But I think that show works because of the other 3 characters.
It's very ensemble.
Yeah.
It's an important aspect of it. Yeah,
you couldn't just put anybody in those parts. These are the perfect actors to play these parts. Like supposedly, Alexander apparently just observed Larry David and did Larry David. That was a storyline on Curb.
Is that right?
Oh,
I missed that.
They did a few episodes where Larry found out that that's what was happening as if he didn't know.
Right.
And he was like milking Jason Alexander to try to get him to confess that's.
Oh, that's so funny. I didn't know that.
And Michael Richards, that was based on a real character too. But from what I've read and what I understand, most of that stuff that he does, most of the Kramer isms, like flying through the door and stuff, that's all comes from Michael Richards. So just, a couple of great supporting actors who make these fully formed, bizarre, iconic characters.
Totally. Very iconic.
What was your number 2?
We already talked about Bob Newhart.
All right, mine was Michael J. Fox. So we're 2 number 1.
Okay.
What is your number 1?
My number 1 was Patrick Stewart.
Oh, of course. Well, here, tell us. I know you love the pea stew.
I do.
Take it away.
I mean,
the
look,
mic is yours.
He's a classically trained Shakespearean actor who is my favorite Star Trek captain. So, like, what are you gonna do? Of course, he's my number 1. He's don't you just feel like
Make it so?
Yeah, I mean, you just feel like you could trust this guy to lead you through space, right? He's the captain. I don't know what to say about it. Do you have any better language? He was on your honorable mentions. So
yeah, I think I love him. I think he's. I didn't watch a lot of that show as a kid. I certainly am not as well versed in it as you are. I thought he was hilarious with a capital H on the episode of Extras.
He can be very funny.
That he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody that hasn't seen that, I impel you. You gotta go see it.
He's very funny.
Ricky Gervais did a show about struggling actors working as extras.
Yes.
And Patrick Stewart guested on it.
Because they always had like the star of the movie.
Yeah,
or whatever.
It's one of the funniest things you've ever seen. He has a monologue in a trailer where he's talking to Ricky Gervais about
He's like pitching him an idea or something.
Yeah, he's
right?
pitching him this idea that he's going to play a character who has like psychic, telekinetic powers that can make ladies' clothes fall off.
Yeah.
And he just keeps going. So the lady rides by on a bike and I make her shirt fall off. And she's very embarrassed and she tries to grab her shirt and cover up with it. But I've seen everything. And I mean everything. And Gervais is just sitting there like
trying to be
what
like,
is happening here? And this just goes on forever.
Yeah,
It's so funny. He's so funny.
He seems to have a good sense of humor about himself.
Yeah.
For sure.
Was that just a talk show or where did we hear that story where he talks about doing his
the
sit-down acting and his stand-up acting?
I was going to talk about that. Yeah. It must have been a talk show appearance. It was some kind of interview, obviously.
He was like messing with a director.
Yeah, this was on Star Trek.
Some
during
director
the
had
Star Trek.
come on to Star Trek and they shot it. Oh, I can't remember I'm going to butcher the story because I don't remember it that perfectly. But something to do with like they go to lunch.
They told the director, they were like, we go to lunch and everything after lunch is sit down acting. We don't stand up.
Yeah, after Patrick Stewart has his lunch, he doesn't like to do stand up acting.
He just
likes
to do
sit down acting.
So, yeah, we reference this all the time. Sit down acting.
Sit down acting.
Yeah, he's a funny guy. Love him.
My number one, and this is one where I also tried to split it up, and maybe it was harder. Unlike the Golden Girls, because there were 2 of them instead of 4. But for me, it's Mark Lynn Baker and Bronson Pinchot.
Yeah, I had a feeling. Yep.
I
couldn't split them up.
Yeah, I mean, they're gifted. Their timing in terms of their dialogue is very funny. They're very gifted vocal sitcom actors.
Of course.
But what lifts them above everybody else, I think, from the entire decade is their skill as physical performers.
Yes, as like slapstick. Essentially.
Yeah. But
beyond that, it's beyond that.
That stuff is so hard to do.
Yeah.
And when you see bad slapstick, oh my God, there's nothing worse.
Yeah.
And these 2 guys I don't know that I've seen anybody do it better. They're certainly like, they're nowhere near as famous as some of the greatest slapstick. You know, you're not going to compare them to like, I don't know, the Three Stooges or whatever.
Or like Charlie Chaplin or whatever, certainly.
But for me, like, these guys are the gold standard.
In the more modern era, especially, like, you don't get a lot of that. And they were almost seamless at it. Like, you almost didn't realize that's what you were watching.
Yeah, I've seen, they're really still very
funny.
good friends to this day.
Yeah.
Like, Bronson Pinchot was Mark Lynn Baker's best man at his wedding a few years ago. Like, they're still very
sweet.
close. And they have talked in multiple interviews about how they felt like they had an almost psychic connection.
Yeah.
Like, that they just somehow knew what the other person was going to do and how they were going to do it, and it enabled them to adjust their own performance to fit that person, and they didn't really even need to like spend a lot of time discussing it and working it out. They were just it was like a true creative
partnership.
Marriage.
Yeah. They really, the chemistry they had is like almost like no other.
Yeah,
truly.
So yeah, I mean, I know that's a show, especially if you're like a Gen Z or a millennial listener, that you probably aren't super familiar with. You might have seen pictures from it or something, but it's really a show that it's corny.
Yes.
For sure. It's very 80s. But if you want to see like first class physical comedy, you know, I could point you to a good 10 or 12 episodes that are, I think, among the best I've ever seen.
That comedy holds up. That stuff that they do.
The scene where they take the episode where they both take karate and become ninjas, and they have a big ninja fight in their living room that goes on for like 10 minutes.
Yes.
The roller skating episode where they try to do roller skating stunts over barrels. The episode where they win a shopping spree and they kind of do a supermarket sweep style shopping spree. I mean, the episode where they try to do the plumbing in their girlfriend's bathroom and they end up flooding the entire bathroom. That stuff is like...
They start a baking business.
It's like watching a great choreographed dance.
Yes.
Like that's how good it is.
Yeah. Total gold. Absolutely.
All right. On that note, I think we have reached the end.
We've done it.
We've done it. So thank you for listening, and we will catch you in the next episode of The Long Rewind.
Okay. See you then. You've been listening to The Long Rewind. The program is produced by Dustin Morrow and hosted by me, Lisa Molinelli. If you enjoy the show, please consider hitting the subscribe button, leave us a good review on your podcast app, and tell your friends about the program. We'll see you next time. Thanks for listening.